Mr. Speaker, inflation is very, very hard for Canadian families. Some have had to change their eating habits while others are skipping meals to make ends meet. And yet we'd warned this government that $500 billion deficits in just 2 years would have consequences. The Prime Minister didn't listen to us, and what's worse, he spent twice as much. Will he at least listen to struggling Canadians and guarantee them that he won't increase their taxes again? The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, I would just like to quote the facts. I just want to talk about the economic reality of Canada. And the reality is that our economic plan is responsible. Canada has the lowest deficit of the entire G7. Canada has the lowest debt to GDP ratio in the G7. Canada's AAA credit rating was reaffirmed 2 weeks ago.
For Mission Maxkey, Fraser Canyon.
Mr. Speaker, things just seem broken in Canada. Costs are skyrocketing, and everything from children's Tylenol to get this leafy green lettuce can't be found on store shelves or in restaurants across Canada. And we all know why. The costs of producing, growing, and manufacturing are getting harder and harder and have never been more expensive. So why won't the Liberals just give Canada a break and cancel their plans to triple taxes on gas, groceries, and heating?
Hear, hear.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And once again, the honourable member is from British Columbia, where we have seen the most dramatic impacts of climate change in the last year. $9 billion because of the atmospheric river. 600 senior citizens died, Mr. Speaker, because of the heat dome. And talking about the cost of lettuce, we had a major drought, Mr. Speaker, which is why vegetables are getting so expensive. Mr. Speaker, we have a plan for climate change. We're going to build community resiliency. The Conservatives have no plan.
The Honourable Member for Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke.
Speaker, the costly coalitions made it a sin to eat, heat, and drive. They've added a tax like that on alcohol and cigarettes that automatically increases every year. With taxes on fuel and fertilizer, they're making food unaffordable. The government's homegrown inflation is forcing children to miss meals. When will this government give Canadians a break and end the triple tax on gas, groceries, and home heating?
Here.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, earlier one Conservative member referred to COP27, where the whole world is gathered, where people from around the world are focused on climate change, what it means for our economies, what it means for future generations, Mr. Speaker. But you know who's not there, Mr. Speaker? The Conservatives are not there. They pulled members from their delegations, Mr. Speaker, and that's not surprising, Mr. Speaker, because for 10 long years they did absolutely nothing on climate change, and every time they went to an international meeting, they received the Fossil of the Year award.
The Honourable Member for